Hey guys, we are in my office room right now, which is actually doubling as a seed starting room. Today I'm just going to share with you guys what I'm all starting in my garden this year and what I already started. So this is what I have all started already. Since the kale is the thing that I have most of, these are the kales that I'm growing. Scarlet kale because I thought it would be pretty to have some purple. Two right here, and then there's this blue curled scotch. It's a lot curlier. And this black magic kale, this is more of like a straighter leaf kale. We really love to have like kale salads with like some balsamic vinegar and lemon juice and like maybe cut up strawberries or blueberries or something in the summertime. It's so good. It also is a very good green to like meal prep with, or food prep, I guess. Because it doesn't like lettuce, if you like dress it in everything the day before, it gets really soggy and gross, and so it like prepping it doesn't work that great. But kale, it stays nice and like crispy, and it's so good. I just have a bunch of different kinds because I like different varieties, and I like to see the different like colors and shapes and everything in the garden because I think it's very pretty. And then you get to kind of like compare which one you think is better or which one does better in your climate as well. If I get a dehydrator, which I'm really hoping I will do this year, I want a dehydrator because there's a bunch of things that I want to dehydrate. So I'm planning on doing that with a kale to make like a kale greens powder that I can just add into like soups, chilies, sauces, things like that, just to like add in some vegetables without really noticing. That's my plan with the kale. Next, I got these two types of cabbage. I have this early Copenhagen market cabbage and this red acre cabbage. I can't tell you how good they are or how well they grow because I've never actually done it before. I think I started these last year as well at my old house. And then obviously we had to move, so I don't know how well I did. I don't even know if I actually planted them out in the garden at all before we moved, or if all the seedlings just died or something, or if I was just so busy that I didn't really take care of them. I don't know. I can't really remember, but I have never grown cabbage yet successfully. So I'm gonna try this year because I love cabbage, and cabbage is like, I feel like cabbage is one of those things that is just so diverse in the way you can eat them. Like fresh cabbage, you can like shred it and make coleslaw, and then you can also shred it and like stir fry it, like put it in a stir fry and cook it. It's really, really good. And then also sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is something I want to make a lot of this year. That's like my main, like that's what I want to do with cabbage. I want to grow a bunch of cabbage, make a bunch of sauerkraut because we love sauerkraut. I can put it in like everything, on my egg wraps, on top of chili. That's really good. Really like burritos. Even if you have like potatoes, sausage or something, just like put cabbage in there or sauerkraut. It just goes good with pretty much everything. And my baby likes it too. Addie and Arya, they can just eat sauerkraut by itself. So it's really, really good for them. So I'm really hoping I can get a good harvest of cabbage. I am a little bit nervous though because cabbage worms are so bad around here. So with my kale and my cabbage, I actually bought a row cover, which I did actually I bought it last year. I set it up at my old house, and it did seem to work, but I wasn't really able to harvest anything from there because we moved. So I had the row cover up. I planted like kale in there and everything. Then we moved, but since it was a private sale, we kind of know the people who bought our house. So they told us we could come back and harvest things from our garden. So I never harvested anything under there, but when I went to go get my row covers and everything back from them and move it over here, then I saw the kale under there and it looked really good. So this year I'm gonna set it up again in my garden, and hopefully that will deter the cabbage moths and we can have cabbage and kale this year. But my plan is also, I want to have a diverse garden. So I've been really into a food forest lately, and I know food forests are very kind of like perennials, which I really want to do. I want to get fruit trees. I want to grow a bunch of perennial things and just grow them all together, to to have like a diverse ecosystem. But I kind of want to do that with my vegetable garden as well, my annual garden. It just, I know it might be a little bit more like not as practical, I guess, because if you have rows, then you know exactly where things will be. Um, but I find that I feel like I'm gonna do a mix of just rows of things and a mix of I'm just gonna take certain plants and just plant them all over my garden and kind of mix it around because I feel like it's just so beautiful that way. And it's like companion planting and diversifying everything, making a beautiful ecosystem, which is supposed to help with like deterring bugs and stuff. So we'll see what I do. I'm definitely gonna like keep you guys updated on what I do. Obviously, we're gonna have garden tours throughout the summer, which I'm so excited for. Today is like it snowed today, but the last couple days have actually been really nice. The whole February snow. I think January too, maybe January, February, maybe like middle of January, all of February was just snow every day. And honestly, I loved it because it was like this is beautiful. We haven't had like a snowy winter in a very long time. It's always just kind of been like cold and muddy and just like gloomy, like gray, you know? But this year we actually had snow on the ground for like the whole month and like it was just beautiful. But then starting in March, it's just like no more winter. We had like really good weather, really good as in like 0 or like 1 degrees to 11 degrees. A couple days were like 11. Some yesterday, I think it was like 8 degrees outside. My kids played on the porch and had lunch out there, and it was beautiful. And now today, it's like back at like 1, I think. So not like super cold, but it snowed and everything. So, but it looks like it's gonna warm up very soon again. And I'm really excited about it. All right, we also planted onions. Onions are super cute. This is my second time growing onions from seed, and I just love it. Like, look at that. Look how cute they are. They're just tiny little like blades of grass. Obviously, they're still like bent. They're gonna come up and straighten up, and they're just gonna be like little thin pieces of grass. I just feel like they're really cute. Onions are obviously like a staple to grow. You know, if you guys cook, you know, onions like give flavor to everything. So that's why I wanna try to grow a lot of onions this year and preserve them. I think for the most part, I'm gonna try to harvest them at a time so that I can just keep them in my pantry and just store them that way. And whenever I need to use them, I can just take them and cut them up and use them, right? And if I have a dehydrator at that time, I'll dehydrate them. My main ways that I think I want to preserve them: storing them in the pantry, dehydrating them to make like an onion powder, and also chopping them up and putting them in Ziploc bags to put in the freezer. So that way, if I'm like really short on time and I want to use actual cut up onions, then I can take them from the freezer and just like cook them then. For my peppers this year, I already started some peppers. I am obviously growing jalapenos. Jalapenos are the pepper I use for almost everything. Jalapenos just have a really good flavor. I love to make pickled jalapenos. I love to make cowboy candy. I made that last year or the year before, I think. I don't remember. That for the first time, and it was really good. I also want to let some of them ripen until they turn red, and then I want to harvest them and make like hot sauces. I've made like a sriracha sauce with red jalapenos before, and I actually have a video if you guys want to see that. The last time I made hot sauce, I didn't actually like do it all the way until like turn it into a sauce. So you're supposed to take the peppers and like the garlic and all the things that you ferment with it. You mix them up and you ferment the peppers with all the other ingredients, and then once that's fermented, then you like blend it up with like some vinegar and turn it into a sauce. But I didn't do that last part. So I just have like this jar of fermented pepper mush. I never know what to call it, but it's like really, really good. It's just like crushed up fermented peppers, and it's delicious. And we put that in like a lot of things. Like it's really good with like creamy pastas. So like either like homemade mac and cheese or homemade pumpkin pasta or homemade hamburger helper that's like creamy and cheesy, and with that like fermented, it's like sweet and spicy and sour, and it's just really 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 good. So I think I'm gonna do a lot of that again. That's one of the things that I'm really excited for, because we're almost out of the one that I have now. Also, they're really good with jalapeno poppers, so I'm hoping we can make like a bunch of jalapeno poppers this summer. The next pepper I'm growing is the Lesia peppers. So these are apparently supposed to be the sweetest peppers in the world. Last year was my first year growing them, but I had to grow them in containers because I moved to my parents' house while we were renovating this house. And it was a really, really busy year last year. So I never really took care of them. I think I got like maybe two peppers, maybe three, I don't know. But the peppers that I did try from these were really, really good. So I'm excited for these again. For these, I'm mostly excited just to eat them fresh. And then like kind of like bell peppers, eat them with like dip or whatever. But actually, I wouldn't say mostly. I'm excited for that, but I'm mostly excited to roast them and to have like roasted red peppers. So I'm gonna roast them in the oven, and then I'm going to probably just freeze them. So I just have a bunch of roasted red peppers in the freezer, so that way whenever I want that taste and I don't have peppers to roast, I can just take a little bit of roasted red peppers, thaw it, and put it into anything that I want, like the roasted red pepper flavor, like a roasted red pepper dip, or my favorite way to do it is like with breakfast. I love breakfast food. So like all the things I'm thinking of growing are things that would be like really good in breakfast food. Cottage cheese. I haven't had cottage cheese in a while, but sourdough bread with cottage cheese and sometimes like avocado, and then like roasted red peppers on top and an egg on top. That sounds so good with like an iced coffee. So excited. I'm so excited to grow my own vegetables and be able to eat my own vegetables. And fresh tomatoes. Oh, that reminds me, it's actually 8 weeks before my last frost date today, which means I can start my tomatoes. I'll show you guys the varieties I'm going to plant soon. But I am planting one more pepper variety. Where is it? This one. It's Early California Wonder. The only reason I'm growing this is because me and Aria saw a seed rack at our home building center, and she picked out some seeds, and these are the seeds that she picked. She really wanted to plant these peppers, so these are hers. She can grow them, she can put them where she wants, so I planted some for her. She even started them. I'll like maybe put like clips of how we like started seeds together, because it was fun. It was fun to start seeds with her and teach her about plants and things like that. And I'm super excited that I get to do this with her, and I get to teach my kids about gardening, and I'm excited for the weather to warm up so we can go out there and we can start planting things. Another thing that I didn't start yet, but I just bought these seeds just at a store because I saw them and I was like, yes, I wanted to grow them, but I don't have seeds yet. So celery. This, what is it? Tall Utah 5270R approved. I don't know what that means, but we're gonna grow celery because I think like celery, carrots, onions are a very like good staple thing to have, because you can chop them up and use them as like flavoring for a lot of different things. So that's why I'm growing celery. Probably gonna chop them up and either I feel like maybe I'll dehydrate some of them, maybe the leaves. I'll dehydrate those to have like a celery powder that I can just put flavor into things, and then maybe the rest I will chop them up and freeze them, and then I can take out celery whenever I need it. So one of the things I'm most excited about to grow this year is tomatoes. I love how Jessica Sowers from Roots and Refuge says that store-bought tomatoes taste like disappointment. They do. They really do. So I'm really excited to grow homegrown tomatoes. Obviously, they're homegrown if you grow them at home. Anyway, speaking of Jessica from Roots and Refuge, you might know that I love her channel. And a lot of the tomato varieties that I've bought are because of her recommendations. So this is one of them. This is Paul Robeson. This is one of the best tomatoes that I have grown in my garden so far. And I haven't grown like a bunch of varieties like she has, but from the ones that I've grown, this is definitely my favorite. And another one that she recommended, these are cherry tomatoes. These are Sun Gold. These ones are one of my favorite, and I really have to start saving seeds because I do not have that many seeds left, and I want to grow these over and over and over again. So I want to save seeds from everything. But these cherry tomatoes are one of the best cherry tomatoes that I've ever grown and I've ever eaten. Be really good on like salads. Also very good on like sourdough bread with cottage cheese, like cut up so you can like put them on there nicely. They're just so sweet, and they also make really good pasta too, so really good. Then I have Amish paste. Obviously this is a little baggy so you can't see what they look like. They're like Roma tomatoes, but they're a little bit bigger, and I only have 2 seeds left, so I'll plant them both and we'll see if they both germinate. And then last year I bought this early girl hybrid tomato. I was getting like super excited about all these different cool varieties that that Jessica was talking about, and then I wanted to try them all, right? Because I feel like I'm a little bit like her with that. I love the excitement of having different things that you can't buy from the store. You get to try new varieties and you get new colors, and it's just beautiful. But I want to make tomato sauces. I really want to make a lot of tomato products that I can and then I can have them throughout the winter. So planning on making like tomato sauce or just like canned tomatoes, and then you can make them into a sauce when you want to. I also want to try to make my own ketchup. That's not like a priority or anything. It's just something I kind of want to try and I think it'd be cool. So that's why I bought these, and then I'll just get more tomatoes that I can harvest and not just necessarily for slicing and stuff like that. I actually have asparagus seeds too that I have in my 8 weeks before last frost. I found these while I was going for a walk, and I found like an asparagus plant that had like the little red berries, and I took them and I saved seeds from them, and that was in 2022 already. So we'll see. I have to find a place where I want them to grow because obviously they are perennials. They'll come back, and so I got to think of a place where I want them to be. And then I want to start these already so I can, because it takes a while or like a couple years until you can actually harvest them. So I want to start them already and then figure out where I want them. I'm going to grow some zucchini this year. This is mostly just for like cutting up and stir frying with like some onions, sweet potatoes, sausage, and it's really good like that. And also making a bunch of like zucchini bread and putting vegetables into like things that my kids will eat and desserts and stuff. I think that's a really cool way to use zucchini. I'm gonna grow some carrots. These are Royal Chantenay carrots that I got from MI Gardener. Never tried them yet, so we'll see. I think I'm also gonna grow some peas. I've never actually successfully grown peas either before, so we're not like a huge pea eater. I feel like I just want to do it because it's just like it's like an early season crop, so we can like have a harvest of some sort of food in the early spring. So it just sounds fun, and I do like eating like peas just from the garden. So we'll see if I end up planting them. I have some other carrots. These are little finger carrots. Never tried these. I have some rutabagas. I grew these last year. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I was super excited about them because I was really excited about like the idea of having root crops. I don't know why that was so exciting to me. It just seemed like a very like pioneer type of thing for some reason. Having root crops, storing them. I don't know, just like non-fancy food, I guess. But I didn't like the rutabagas. I tried them in different kind of ways. Just wasn't for me. So I don't think I'm going to grow those that this year. I have some radishes. I might grow some radishes again. I'm not like the biggest fan of radishes, but my husband does like them, and I think I need to give them another chance too. I only had them last year, and they were pretty good. Like if you slice them and put them in like a cream cheese like bagel, then they're pretty good. But Not like my favorite thing, but I think I'm gonna grow them anyway. I'm also growing green beans. I think these are these bush ones? Hey guys, so it's a little bit later on. I ran out of storage on my phone, and so I had to go and delete a bunch of things, and then we had lunch, and then I spilled coconut oil on all over my shirt. So then that's why I'm in a different shirt. I'll be growing some pole beans and some bush beans, and then seeing which one works better. Okay, so I'm gonna grow these. Yeah, cucumbers. These cucumbers I got last year already. And I never got to harvest any of them because we moved. So I'm gonna grow them again this year and see how they taste. Cucumbers, probably mostly growing just for fresh eating, but also I'll probably make some like fridge pickles and things like that. Other than that, actually, I did want to try making my own relish.
We could do a watermelon tree in our garden.
A watermelon tree? You know, watermelons don't grow on trees. They grow on vines.
I wish we had a watermelon vine so we could go to a vine in the garden and just pick some. Watermelon.
Yeah, well, we don't have watermelon plants, but we do have this melon. This is called a Kajari melon. I have no idea how it tastes.
Yeah, me neither.
They're supposed to be like small little melons, and I've never grown them before. I tried actually. I've never harvested them before, I should say. I grew them in my garden. They didn't do very well. I don't remember why. It was a couple years ago. I think they just kind of like shriveled up, died. So we're gonna try again this year. I think I might not. I want to try them, but I only have like a limited amount of space, and it's not the most important thing for me to grow melons. I'm more focusing on like things that I can store, things that I can preserve, things that I'm going to be eating a lot of. And my aunt does own a fruit stand where they're going to be selling a lot of watermelons and melons and things like that all year round, all summer, I guess. So we're probably going to get a lot from there anyway. So I think that is all the crops that I'm growing this year. Except for herbs, I have a list. I have a bunch of herbs that I want to grow too. I think I'm going to do that in a different video. Let me know what you guys are growing in your garden because I would love to know. And let me know what you guys are excited about the most because gardening is just so much fun and growing your food is so much fun. And I don't know, I love to hear what other people are excited about and what their favorite crops are. And thank you guys for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.